everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis. I'm a self-made lazy ultra runner, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 days.
I am Mitch, and winter is hitting us now.
It is. Man, did I notice it out there.
Yeah. Did you go out and get the mail or like?
I took the dog for about a 2-mile walk. At about 1.
I missed it. We ran this morning, and it was fine. It was a little breezy,
okay,
but there was nothing coming down. And then I went, and it's like I noticed it's garbage day, and I noticed that the cans were getting blown around in the road. So I was like, I went out there and got them and brought them back up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I'm glad it wasn't like this morning.
We went so our grandsons are over, and we went out for some Chick-fil-A lunch, and it was madness there. It's the day before Thanksgiving. So when we're recording this, it's the day before Thanksgiving. And that Fine and Danny come back, and Rowdy our dog got a short walk this morning with both grandsons, Matthew and Jack, and but it was shortened. It was only a mile because wasn't nice. Oh no, wasn't very nice. And Jack, who is, oh my gosh, 7. Gosh, how am I off on that? They grow up way too fast.
They do. And you got, you have a few of them.
We have a few, yeah. I want to say 7. I could be off by a year. But at any rate, 7, 8, something like that. And I think he got about a half a mile in, and his legs were burning, was the comment. And there was some complaining. And so they shortened the walk. And so I went out with just Matthew on the second one for 2 miles. And holy smokes, walking to the west, awful. It hurt. It was one of those hurts your eyes and face. It's like pelting you, and it's blowing straight into you. It was not pleasant. We turned the corner. It wasn't too bad. And then we stayed north-south, so we tried not to walk west.
Well, that's the worst is going with the wind on the way out and then coming back. That's awful.
Yeah. If you know when you turn around. Yeah.
We've done that before. Like, we have done runs that way, knowing that the wind was coming out of the west.
Yeah.
We drove to the lakeshore and ran home. It's like,
yeah, we've done the same. The thing is, as long as
but man, you can fly.
Yeah. Or if you just make sure that you go into it, suffer in the beginning so that you can relax on the way back. You don't want to do it the opposite.
This morning, it was just windy. Like, you turn a couple corners, and you're like, oh, crap. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, we got out, got him a walk. The next 4 days are going to be nice because it's vacation, essentially. Well, 3, technically. But yeah, it was not nice this morning, and that kind of speaks to what we're going to talk about a little bit today, in the sense of how prepared are you? Now, for us, because we went on this walk that was literally around the neighborhood, we were no more than 3/4 of a mile from the house.
And you had your phone.
Had my phone. There's always traffic. I'm not in the middle of the woods. I'm on a bike path for one. I'm literally next to a house for 3/4 of a mile, like walking on the road next to houses. So yeah, never really in harm's way of any kind.
So why this came up, it's kind of personal for me because of all my issues. I have a little bit of, anxiety because of the health issues that I've dealt with. And when we went out west, I don't think we talked about that. Our little short hike, I don't know.
Not to any extent.
So we went on this hike, and it really shouldn't have been a big deal. But we were going to just walk down, see the Western States Trail, and then go to dinner. So I wore what I was going to wear to dinner, whole 9 yards. It turned out to be an event. And I I think I made Lewis feel bad because I was kind of freaking out. Like when we got down there and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get back up and my legs are jello. Like
that is the difference. So 2 things. Number one, what the subject matter of what we're going to cover is, these are 3 pillars of basic remote preparedness, but there can be several. Like as you're listening to this and you think of some, throw them in the comments. Let us know. Some other ideas of how to be prepared when in remote or just out of the norm situations. Because you don't have to be very far to be remote. We talked about that before we started recording.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it could be a mile.
Yeah.
It could be a place nobody goes and you don't have cell phone coverage or your cell phone's dead. Like you just have to think, especially at our age.
Yeah. And depending on the terrain for that mile, I want to look up how far can you hear someone yell? Because it says 100 yards. And that's in ideal quiet situations.
And that's why like some of your vests and stuff like that do have whistles on them.
Yes, which is much different from someone yelling. Yeah, that's just funny. That says 100 yards. I got to believe it's farther than that.
Depends on who it is.
Yeah, it depends on who it is, because I hear like the next one down is much further. No, it says about 100 yards. A shout. 180 meters, 590. So it's still not very far. It's not like it's miles at any rate. Mm-hmm. And I want to say, when I look at a mile, there's no way. I'm looking at like right now, when I think of where a mile is, there's nobody hearing me a mile away from my house. No way. And so, and I'm even thinking like down the road, a half a mile. There's no way. Like maybe a faint. But at any rate, yeah, that speaks to a lot of times when this kind of a subject comes up, you think, I don't run way off into the woods 10 miles. You don't have to be 10 miles in to be quote unquote remote. And you don't ever prepare, or you don't ever plan
to have a problem.
You don't, how am I saying that? Accidents happen. It's not an on purpose to be in trouble.
You don't have to do silly things and try dumb stuff to have something unfortunate happen.
To cause you to be stranded, essentially, within what would seem like arm's reach of safety. And so, I say that just to like drive home the point of, you don't have to be very far away, depending on the scenario. Like here, okay, yeah, I'm never more than I can look, any stretch of where I'm at, I can literally see a house,
right?
And so I can wave my arms. I could, somebody's gonna see me.
And even if you're on the trail that is close by, somebody is on that trail on a regular basis.
Yeah. Now, even that, I would say I would be careful, depending on the time. I think it's always good. I think this is good discussion, because I think I used to run with a guy who, even out there on Upper Mac, which is a well-traveled, like, I don't know, you could exhaust yourself yelling to try to get somebody on the paved path when they're never around. You just happen to miss them. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to hope for a bicyclist, and you just don't know, right? And so anyway, he just came prepared. He always carried a pack, and it always had some first aid gear, a whistle. It had the pullover, like warming blanket, first aid, like gauze, things like that. It's tiny. Like this pack didn't take up much, and it's so minimal for a little bit of safety that could really save your life. Mm-hmm. So anyway, yeah, going back to what kind of sparked this for you, we took a hike down to the Western States Trail after the race, California Fall Classic. And the house to the trail
was a mile and a half.
I think it did end up being longer than we thought.
Yeah.
She said it was like, 3/4 of a mile or something like that. And it was like twice that.
And a mile and a half, like it's not far, but what was it? 1,300 feet of loss?
Yeah, it was very steep coming back.
It wasn't bad at one point, and I think I forgot that when I got down there. I'm like, it's steep the whole way.
Yeah, and it was very steep in sections going down, and even then you were commenting like, man, this is steep.
Mm-hmm.
This is hurting my feet, like jamming in. So yeah, and I think there was a point about 3/4 of the way down where I was like, oh no, should I say something about turning around? Or maybe I did.
And we were just thinking, it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner.
Right around this next corner. Right around this next corner.
Well, we're this close now.
Yeah.
May as well.
Yeah. And I did feel bad. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, you're a grown adult. You can make your decisions. And I didn't feel like I pressured. Maybe I did a little. But I did feel bad because I thought, what would I do?
Yeah, I'm not a small person.
No,
You'd have
I
to
wasn't
go for
going to
help.
carry you. Yeah. And the thought of running up that in that kind of emergency, I was like, holy smokes. Now, I did start to put together my phone was catching service at times. And I did have her number, who we were running the house from. And I did see when we left, they had like the side-by-side sitting there. There was a side-by-side of some kind. And I thought, worst case, it's a phone call or try to get with her and say, send help right away. Now, I was going through those scenarios of like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? So
the point of this is like knowing what you're getting into and being prepared for that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like just so,
so you can hope to put around you the most safety that you can and still enjoy the events that you're doing. So yeah, these are just 3 pillars of basic remote preparedness. This is not a camping thing or anything like that. That would be a different thing. Now, a lot of this will apply to that kind of a thing, but this is more from like taking a hike, taking a run, something like that. First thing is the mindset, know your limits. And going to kind of read through some of this and share some experiences that we've had. The go, no-go decision is non-negotiable. Acknowledge that a remote run is not a time to have that push-through mentality with lingering discomfort or anxiety. To your point, post-stroke, post-surgery, a B-grade feeling in the morning. If you're in that B, you don't feel A, that means you're going to choose a C-grade route. So an easier route. You're not going to say, well, man, I just had a stroke 2 weeks ago. Not feeling great this morning. We're sticking to it.
I think I was 3 weeks out. So I think I was probably
plenty good.
Plenty good.
But yeah, we're not just going to push through and get our hike in. An example of that would be a runner plans 50K route. They wake up with a tight calf and some mental fatigue. Instead of pushing it, they switch to a known, well-traveled 15-mile route. They finished injury-free and gained confidence rather than risking more than just a DNF. Depending on what you're in, if it's a race or just a run, and worse, remote medical crisis.
And I was going to point out there's a big difference between like, hey, I know I'm not feeling 100%. I signed up for this race. There is support. There's bailout points, the whole thing. That's different than, I'm going to go and I'm going to run this remote route even though I don't feel good. That's where it's like, I probably should be safe because I'm depending on myself. You know?
Yeah. And again, I think this is where, man, living where we live compared to living out west.
Right.
Man, wherever I run, I shouldn't say that. For me, most places that I run, I almost always have cell service.
Yep.
I know that there are areas that don't. You get north of here a little bit, like the Dragon. There's sections of that you might get a little bit of a sketchy service with your cell phone. So there are areas here in the Midwest as well, plenty, especially as you get north further, that, you do start to lose service. So your phone is only as good as the cell service that you have.
Right.
The turnaround point. Number 2 of the knowing your limits, turnaround point is your most important landmark. Predetermined point on a map or a time on the watch. So something like, I must turn around by 1 p.m. in order to be back by such and such. And maybe that's more like, if you're 2 hours back, let's say, and that's 3 p.m., you need to give yourself time for light. And in this case, it's like 4 p.m. Feels like, man.
Yeah. Knowing, like how long you've gone, and it's probably going to take you longer to get back unless you're going uphill.
True.
I've always thought about that with the Grand Canyon or any of that stuff. When you're climbing a mountain, it's hard at the beginning. With the, doing something where it's downhill, the Grand Canyon, stuff like that, your way back is the hardest point. So every minute down is going to be 2 to 3 minutes up. So you have to think about those things.
And even that, I think there's times where the downhill is slower than the up. Oh, because it's so steep, you can't even run it. And you're having it. You really have to think through those routes. It's not always quicker downhill. Like, let's say you started the route uphill, like, oh, we'll be way faster going down.
Right. That's true.
Not always.
That is true. If it's rocky or, on a steep trail, the moment of panic sets in, the body's screaming danger. The turnaround point is then. Like, if you're getting that feeling, listen to those feelings. And to that extent, so to kind of speak into that more, you might have that first time that speaks to you, danger, and you do turn around. Great. You're all safe. Everything worked well. And you're like, okay, I guess it wasn't that bad. But as you build experience and you build up, all those times where you've felt that, those feelings start to dial in a little bit more. So then if you're 20 years into experiences like that, you're going to know you hit that danger feeling, it's for real. Right.
So, but listen to them regardless, I would say. Always carry extra gear. That's to speaking to what the guy I used to run with here. The guy always carried extra gear, whether that was first aid gear or.
And we've probably made fun of those people in the past.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm just realizing, like, man, I've been such a jerk.
Yeah. Why is he carrying 2 bottles of water for this 8-mile run?
Because he's got one for you too.
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like, I ran out of water. Good thing I thought of you.
Yeah. 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 Always carry extra gear. As Mitch said, it's not always for yourself. Sometimes and sometimes it's not for somebody with you, but you ran into somebody on the trail. Mm-hmm. What about that? My brother-in-law went out to, I can't remember where it was, some mountains out west. And they were doing this as it goes in the mountains. They were going up this, it was a hike up this mountain. And they ran into, I don't know, this group of like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or something halfway up. And they saw this storm setting in. They went past, and then they saw this storm setting in, and they're like, holy cow, we need to head back. Because that storm, and as it goes in the mountains, man, it can be on you. Like storms, the way they hit, it can be on you. And they didn't make it like halfway back down, and the storm hit them. And it was torrential and hail and all of this. It was bad. And so my brother-in-law, he's really good about this. He is an outdoorsman. He was prepared. And he built basically a lean-to, a big old tarp. And he built this whole tarp, and he ended up having like this scouts underneath it. And this runner came down the mountain in like shorts and a tank top. And he was freezing. And he got underneath there and he hung out with them a little bit, and they warmed him up. That's it.
And you're
Those
making
types
fun of it.
things.
Like, why is he carrying all that stuff? And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, carry extra gear. Never know what's going to be need. And we're not saying you have to forego your running experience. So you got to take a full pack of gear.
Right.
It's just take a few things.
But some of that stuff is so lightweight.
Yeah.
You know, like those little emergency blankets, they weigh nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. And those work really, really well. It's amazing. Pillar 2, the mechanics, knowing your body. First point, master your sweat rate and sodium loss. In endurance sports, hydration isn't just water, it's electrolytes. That's a big thing to understand. Primarily sodium. A salty sweater, leaving a white crust on your clothes, needs a higher sodium intake. That's the one thing I want to ask. I keep trying to remember this. If you have a ton of salt on your clothes, does that mean you're intaking too much, too little, or just too much water? Like, I think that means something when they say salting out or whatever.
I think that it could be that I don't think that you're taking too much in that way. I think that you got to replenish it somehow. I don't think you can replenish everything though. That's the problem. But we've heard Terrence talk about that, about doing tests where you can do an actual test to say how much sodium you should be taking per hour.
Yeah, I thought I didn't know it until after CFC, until I was at some point in the bathroom or something getting changed. I had tons of salt all over my shorts.
Well,
I didn't realize it.
The weird thing is because
I saw it in one of the videos actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about that is we've talked about, because of the humidity out there, you're not noticing that you're sweating as much. It's just going away quicker.
Yeah.
So
I didn't notice it.
That's one of the things about being out west, is being attuned to that.
Yeah. Train your gut. Number 2 of the mechanics, knowing your body, train your gut. Your ability to run for hours or exercise for hours depends on consistently processing calories, around 60 to 90 grams of carbohydrates per hour for ultras. Any high intensity, well, not even high intensity, just continued stress on the body, working out. You must practice eating. And we talked about that on the lead up for California Fall Classic. I was saying, I'm taking peanut butter and jellies with me. I am eating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I still fail. But you do have to train that way.
Yeah. And I thought about that too, because we talked about a little bit before, is you just get sick of certain things too. So you have to have a variety of things.
Yeah. And that's the next point. Don't rely on just one energy source. And you did that at John Muir.
Yeah. And Grand Canyon, coming out of the Grand Canyon, where I was just sick of everything that I had. And I had a big variety. And the only thing I had left was bars, and they're hard to chew. You have
like Cliff Bars?
Like Cliff Bars, yeah. And I don't like them that much. Yeah. And I brought them along for the calories, because it's a lot of calories, simple to carry. They're in their own packages. And that's all I had left. And I knew I was bonking. But I was like, I just don't want to eat them.
That's the worst feeling.
And I heard Laura behind me, and she caught me, and I'm like, oh. And then she puts the pressure on, like, let's go. It's not that far. I'm like, you got to give me a minute. And I'm scarfing down a bar and trying to drink a bunch of water just so I can go again. And I felt, at least I had a little bit of energy then. But
you bounced back a little.
I bounced back a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and the point here is, you might think that those oatmeal pies taste great the first mile. At mile 50, you might not even be able to put a touch to your tongue without throwing up.
Oh my gosh. Stuff can taste really bad. It could ruin you forever. Too.
Yeah. Pillar 3, avoid unnecessary chances. We're going to talk about the 10 essentials coming up, but we want to cover pace is a hazard, not a goal first. First, we're going to cover this.
Okay.
I should say pace is a hazard, not a goal. On a technical train, rocks, roots, all that, ice, like the Mount Pleasant race that we all did.
Oh, yeah.
Prioritize foot placement over speed. Pushing for a specific pace greatly increases the risk of fall, especially when you're trying to go through it and you're like, how am I doing? That's the worst time to look at your watch, which can lead to a broken limb or severe head trauma during a simple run into a complex rescue operation. So yeah, recognizing the race for what it is, and you do have to adjust. But that I feel like is, man, if you're not doing that, you're probably not listening to this podcast.
I think there's a difference between racing and FKT, right? So if you're remote and you're doing rim to rim to rim,
mm-hmm.
safety has to be in there somewhere because you're on your own.
Yeah.
A race, you're trying to get a personal best, or maybe you're going to win the whole thing. You're going to take some chances you wouldn't normally take.
That's true. Yep. And the odds are you're going to be within a few miles, but there's tons of racers around. So usually, and that's usually the case. Like, hey, somebody's back there. They said they're okay, but they need help. That kind of a thing. So yeah, here are 10 essentials. As we get ready to wrap this up, here are 10 essentials for, or non-negotiables, I should say. Well, they're basically 10 essentials for keeping or taking or having unnecessary chances. And some of these have a little bit of like option A, B, C, D. Number one, navigation. And that does not mean just your watch or a phone. That's what I was looking for, phone. Map, compass, and a route plan. Digital devices fail. Batteries die. Screens break. A physical map. Could you imagine? Everything's going well. Battery's great. You got great service, but then you trip. It happens, and your screen busts.
Or you're out there longer than you think, and you keep looking. You're playing music on your phone, and you kill a battery.
But I just think like your battery can be great, but you can fall, and that. Oh yeah. So what? You had all this battery.
What's wild for the JMT? I exclusively used an app on my phone that tracked everything.
Yeah.
That trail, it's like a highway. Like it's easy to follow.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah. But you can get, like, what's the guy that did, I think he did the John Muir, he died on the John Muir Trail, right? In that porta potty.
I don't know if I remember that one.
I'll look it up. Pretty sure.
I believe it because it's.
I don't know. I'll look it up. I could be misremembering that. I do that
or
quite
AT.
Often. That was not the AT. Watch, it'll be the AT. Anyway, yeah, having physical and understanding how to read those things. I'm telling you what, especially in today's day and age, do you know how to read a map? Do you know how to use a compass? If you're going out in remote areas, especially hiking overnight type stuff, man, you need to learn. Illumination, headlamp, you might think, oh no, we're going to be in by 3. No problem. Like us, we left on that 1 mile route and we were questioning. Like we might have to use our phones for illumination. Dumb.
Well, you mentioned too that your new watch has got a light on it.
It does. You click it 3 times and it shoots light. I'm sure you could see like here to here. It's like not.
Somebody could find him. Maybe somebody could find him.
Yeah, they'd see what's that little glint in the trees. Yeah, take some a headlamp, a flashlight, something. They're small, easily so small. Like Petzl makes one. It is the size of like a quarter round.
It's wild and
so
bright.
Small and bright. It's like 400 lumens. That little thing is, and it's got this little pull. It's got like a little line that goes around your head. You can wear it as a headlamp. It's great. Came with one of my lamps that I bought. Number 3, sun protection, sunscreen, sunglasses, brimmed hat, that kind of a thing. Skin or sun is very, very damaging, not just to like long-term stuff, but it sucks the energy out of you. It overheats you. I mean, I don't think I need to go into too much detail there, but get it,
I think it's interesting, the sunglasses and snow blindness, if you're actually hiking in the snow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's easy to get, like, if you're in the north, you get it because anytime you're outside for a little bit the first time and you go inside and you're like, whoa, I can't see a thing.
Yeah.
First aid supplies. Kind of mentioned that a little bit already, but must include blister kit, moleskin tape, basic bandages, antiseptic wipes, anti-inflammatory medication like ibuprofen, things like that. Very smart, as well as the whole poncho thing, I think. Or what do you call those? The blanket thing.
Mylar blanket?
Mylar blankets.
Mm-hmm.
A repair kit and tools / knife, multi-tool, and duct tape. Duct tape is easy because I tell you what, you think, oh, I don't want to take this giant roll. But I used to take, it equated to about a 1/4 inch thick by the width of the duct tape by about 1 inch. And it's about, I bet I could get 10 feet of duct tape. And all you do is you roll it off the roll and you start rolling it on itself flat.
Well,
and it's so small.
It's like called Lucky tape or whatever it is. It's similar, but you can use it for bandages and stuff. It's kind of like moleskin. But what I did is just wrapped it around my hiking pole. And then I had to use it to repair some stuff. So you just roll it off and you can, I had a hole in my bag that carried my tent and I could do that. And if you have a blister, you can use it for that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of wild.
And again, understand some of this stuff may or may not work out for certain situations, but these are things to think about for other situations that might be longer or overnight or long, you're being out in the remote areas longer. Fireproof, which is including waterproof matches, butane lighter, or a fire starter of some kind. Again, understand we're not going to take this on every 8-mile run, but as you go deeper into remote areas, and
your buddy probably had it with him.
Yeah, he probably did. I think he did. The waterproof matches. Insulation, shelter, extra warm layer, emergency bivvy, blanket, even the Mylar type. Emergency space blanket is in that. Again, not every single 8-mile run. Nutrition, extra food. This is a no-brainer. This is 1 day's supply. Again, I think this is dependent on where you're at in the country. I can see places in the UP, man, if I was going for a 20-miler and it was an out and back 10, and I got hurt 10 miles out, that could get cold overnight.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be careful. Food will help keep you warm, too.
Yeah.
It's energy. Hydration, water. Again, I think this is a no-brainer. I do like this though. The water treatment system, whether that's the filter straw, that straw thing you can use.
Those are light.
Or tablets. But did you have both?
I think I did, and I only used a filter.
Oh, okay. You didn't have to use the tablets?
No. I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
I think that you still want to filter it, and then you can, for extra, I don't know.
Gotcha.
And then, because some people have that pen, too, that you can put in the water. I think they're expensive.
That's what I'm talking about. The straw. It's just a straw. You could literally drink
I have those
from
too.
the stream.
Yeah, this is a different system.
Oh.
It's got a battery and stuff.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's almost like
they're expensive,
not
though.
Infrared. What's the... it kills it basically through light.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Make sure you have hydration or access to hydration. And then this last one, I think, is probably one of the biggest ones. Communication. Somebody needs to know what you're doing, where you're going. And that doesn't mean, hey, I'm going for a run or I'm going out for a hike. That means, hey, I'm going for a hike to whatever, Hawks Peak and back. And I'll probably take this route, or I'll take this route and stick to that route. Mm-hmm. The thing of it is, man, it's all this, it seems a roll of the eyes type thing until something happens and you're going to wish, man, I wish I would have told somebody.
And I think it's interesting too, for communication, a personal locator beacon, or a satellite messenger. So you can get, we've talked about that, and I'm thinking I'm going to get one, is just an inReach that you can get through Garmin, and it hooks to your phone. So it's a satellite, and it has an SOS button on it. So if you have an emergency, there's a locator.
Yep. Yeah, and I will add, those are not toys. I mean, those are legit things. Don't watch videos on them. Like if you're going to hit that SOS, you're going to want to make sure it's a actual emergency situation.
Yeah. Because it'll cost you.
It will cost you. I've seen a video on it. A guy, he said yes, but it was this back and forth with the local sheriff's department or something, police force, that he said, and I get it. He said, I'm good. I'm heading this way. And it was kind of like this back and forth of like, sir, we've been dispatched. We can't not come. Like, what's going to happen if they don't come? And then there's a real issue and he dies. Like they're stuck in this, like, sorry, man, we have to.
When we hiked, there was 2 emergencies like that. So helicopter came in twice. So one time somebody fell climbing and broke their leg. And they had to come and get them off the side of the mountain. And somebody else was in like a diabetic shock, and they came into a meadow and got him and took him out.
Man. But I'll bet they were glad emergency services were able to get there. However they got there.
Yeah.
Or however they were notified. But yeah, we thought it'd be good to just cover some basics of, being prepared on what you're doing. And you can say remoteness. And again, we say that is definitely one of those, remote means different to different people. And that's why I think it's, kind of some of these things, understanding your limits, your body's limits, the area you're in, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're back home to family and that, they're not riddled with anxiety the entire time you're gone. That's the flip side of it. So what? You're a Johnny badass that can support yourself in the woods. You're wrecking your family if they aren't aware of where you are and that kind of a thing. I mean, it's not just you and you getting back home. There's people that care about you.
It makes me think when Mike biked the Colorado Trail, and then I think Sean made him get a beacon of some kind, and she was watching that thing going crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point. She was pretty worried, nervous about it. But
I think it didn't move at one point, and she was kind of freaking out because it wasn't moving, and it's like...
Yeah. But be prepared. Let those around you know what you're doing so they aren't all crazy worried. But go check us out on Facebook. Go check us out on YouTube. All of that. Spotify, Patreon, your favorite listening platforms. But that is going to wrap up this episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.